Good afternoon. This is Kit Cabello of Harlan's Media. This is our second coverage of the People's Summit here in the city of Chicago at McCormick Place. And today I'm joined here with
John Bachtell, the Communist Party USA.
All right. What brings you out here to the People's Summit, and what does your organization intend to do in regards to outreach to other progressive groups?
Well, we're really happy to be here among so many progressives. I guess there are several thousand that are here today from all over the country. We're part of the resistance against Trump and the Republican Party, the radical right-wing agenda. We think that's the main danger to democracy and social progress in the country. And we're all about helping to build the biggest movement we can to oust them from the federal government, from Trump in the first place, from the presidency, but also from Congress and state houses all across the country. To be able to open up the path then for more radical reforms like universal health care, free education, a massive jobs creation program, living wage, and and a transition to a green economy. All those things that are so necessary now and are reaching critical tipping points, not only for the country but also the world.
However, if we look at the Trump administration, his administration is currently enacting more cuts to the environment, to social programs, to schools, and numerous other things that really help working class families. Essentially, what do you feel will be the long-term effects, especially after his first 4 years?
Well, the long-term damage is there. It's going to be there for a long time, particularly beginning with the climate and withdrawing the United States from the Paris Climate Accords. Although I would have to say that it's really great to see the U.S. climate, this alliance, U.S. Climate Alliance of hundreds of elected officials, whole states, universities, businesses that are determined to move forward and to implement the Paris Climate Agreement. So that's really heartening, and so that's part of the resistance. But nevertheless, the damage done to that will be enormous, and we don't have time to waste, on that. But the same thing of gutting regulations, of cutting back on democratic rights, labor, workers' rights, decimating. Protections, worker protections, all those things are going to take time to restore. And so we have a big fight on our hands, not only to oust them, but also then to begin to implement policies that will, restore the rights and then move forward, move beyond where we are now.
It's quite clear also that the working class, the middle class, that would basically be the living heart of our economy is slowly shrinking even more and more. And we're also seeing working class families and poor communities struggling to survive in an economy that clearly has no space for them. What has been your organization's outreach to working class neighborhoods and communities that are being systematically shrunk or destroyed?
Yeah, well, we're part of efforts to help build the labor movement, part of the Fight for 15 coalition, and also to defend public education and other things that working class communities need. We're also very active in, like in Chicago here, in fighting for electing progressive, independent elected officials that will advocate, on behalf of working families. And part of the big fight nationally also will be to block any kind of right-to-work law that is coming down the pike, and we intend to be very much active in that fight as well.
All right, and in regards to perhaps supporting progressive candidates, what has been your outreach towards like organizations like the Justice Democrats, Green Party, or even Socialist Alternative? Have you guys reached out to any of those organizations to find out what their platforms are?
Well, we're we believe very strongly in electoral coalitions, and that we believe very strongly in majority, building majority movements. And right now, the allies that we're working with, the labor movement, social justice organizations all across the board, are working both within and outside the Democratic Party, and we're part of that coalition. And we think that helping to build up the forces of independence, beginning with the labor movement, but also all of its allies within that process. So not only working with them in that context, but also helping to build political independence within that framework, that eventually there'll be the emergence of a labor-led people's third party in the United States. But that process takes time, and it doesn't happen overnight. And given the two-party system that we have now, it's very important to work within that kind of context. And so that means working within and outside the Democratic Party.
All right, and in a final question, perhaps there are people out there who are sitting at home, not wanting to get involved. Organizations like the People Summit is really bringing people together. What do you want to say to people who are perhaps sitting down, not doing anything, or feel like their vote or them getting involved won't matter?
Every person's activism matters in this case, and we have to build this movement. The movement's not big enough. It's not big enough yet to oust Trump and to oust the Republicans from control of federal government, of control of state houses, even to defeat Governor Rauner in the next election. We need a bigger movement. That means we need people active at the grassroots to do whatever they can, to organize their neighborhood, to build block clubs, to set up indivisible chapters, to build alliances with all kinds of social justice organizations in your community, to run for the school board, to do whatever you can to get involved, to register voters. All these things are going to make a difference, but the more people that get active and the bigger that we can build this movement, that will determine our ability to defeat the extreme right and to advance a people's agenda going forward.
All right, and that's a great note to end it on. This is Kit Cabello of Hard Lens Media. Peace and stay woke, everyone.